Hey everyone, so welcome to this video. This video will cover automated testing with JUnit testing, and we're going to incorporate Jenkins, and we're going to also incorporate Xray into it. How we're going to do it for this video is we're going to do continuous integration using Jenkins and JUnit tests. So because we are doing JUnit tests, we're going to need Java for that. So if you don't have an IDE where you can use Java and write Java code, in this video, I'm going to show you guys one IDE that most people use for JUnit tests, which is Eclipse. In this video, I'll cover downloading Eclipse, downloading Jenkins as well, because these two might be a little bit difficult to download. So prior to downloading Jenkins and Eclipse, I would suggest you guys download Java and JDK. So for Java, what you can do is you can just head down to this Java link over here. I'll put it in the link description below so you can have easy access to the links. Just go on to the main website, and what it will do for you is based off of your computer and your machine, it'll give you the suggested Java download. So you can just click here and you can just go on with that and it'll automatically download for you. Right, same thing for JDK. So I'm showing you guys an older version of Java, which is Java 11. This is because the latest version of Java doesn't really work well for something like Jenkins. So you're gonna have to use a slightly older version. The latest version, I believe, is 16. This year is 11. So based off of your computer or your machine, you can choose whether it's Linux, Mac OS, Solaris, or Windows. So if you do have Windows, you can just click on this thing over here, and you can, there's like just things that you have to agree for. Just one more thing, after you do download this, you're going to want to change some environment variables. So just head down to your control panel, go to System and Security, go to System, and go to Advanced System Settings, and here you'll find your system properties. Head down to Environment Variables. You're going to need two variables here. You're going to need Java Home. So Java Home should be pointing to your JDK 11. So let me just show you guys where that is for me. Yeah, so basically where you're going to find it is you're going to find it in Windows C. You're going to head to Program Files, and if you click on Java, your JDK 11 should be here. Like I said before, I had the latest version installed, at least back when it was the latest back in 2021. But you want to have this one installed here. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to copy this path, and you want to put it into this environment, this variable over here. So the value to this variable. So again, just JDK, just paste it in, JDK 11. Another thing you want to do is to your path, you want to add in this value over here as well, which points to JDK, the same path, but just with bin in here as well. Trust me, you'll need this for Jenkins because Jenkins can be a little bit aggressive when you don't give proper paths to your variables, especially these two variables that you will need. So when that's done, right, just in case I haven't already mentioned this before, because I always seemingly forget to mention this before starting any video, if you do have any of these already installed, you can just skip ahead because I'm going to split this video up into different chapters. So just move on to any chapter that you guys find that you would rather just skip to. Right, so after you download Java, JDK 11, the next thing we're going to download is Eclipse. So for Eclipse, you can just head down to this website that I will also link below. And it's the official Eclipse website, and go to downloads. And here you just download whichever one they're suggesting for you. Right, so just click download. Yeah, you can donate if you would like to. I'm just gonna wait for this to go all the way. Right, so what we're going to use is the Eclipse IDE for Java developers because we are doing JUnit tests. So we can see here, it says which Java JDK to use. I'm going to go for JDK 11. And this is going to download Eclipse into this path over here, which is fine. So we're just going to click install. And you can read this if you would like and have the time for, and just click install. All right, so now we're just gonna click on launch. So this is what your ID is gonna look like. It has this logo over here. So this is where your workspace is gonna be in your folder. This is the path for it. So let's call it Eclipse Workspace, sure. And let's click launch. All right, so this is your welcome page, and we're just gonna head right into creating a new project. All right, so let's call it the project here. And you can see we have a few options here. There's a Java and then there is Maven. So we're gonna go with a Maven project. So we are using Maven for this video and like for JUnit testings in general. So we're gonna click on next. So we're gonna go and click on create simple project, and we're gonna click on next. And for group ID, let's call it automated testing Maven. And artifact ID, let's just call it YouTube automated testing. Okay. All right, so you can change the version if you would like, and let's just click on finish. Yeah, you can see here, let's just click X on here. You can see that we have src main Java, we have the resources file, we have test, we have the target folder, and we have pom.xml. So for your pom.xml, you're going to need to put in a couple of things here. So I have written it down in my GitHub what to write down. So I'm just going to head down there. I've already made a version of this. So I'm just going to copy all of this, at least the build part. It has a bunch of plugins that you're going to need for this. It has both Maven plugins and JUnit plugins. So I'm just going to copy up until, let's just copy all the properties part. What we're going to do is we're just going to copy all of this up until build. And I'm just going to paste it all here. Right, so I just made a little bit of a change because I was getting some errors in. I did download Java again. I downloaded the latest JRE. I went to preferences and to install the JRE. So I went to add and like went to next. Then I went to Java, where Java was located, which is like C program files in Java. And I selected JRE 1.8. This one that I downloaded, and I selected it, select folder, and then you can see like it shows up and then you can do finish. But because it's already in use, I can't really do it again. So that kind of solved my warning problems over here. All right, so I'm going to create a Java class, and let's call it calculator. And finish. Let's make a package. Let's call this calculator. And in it, let's put the calculator class into it. All right, so let's create some methods. This is going to be add. So we're going to have this function is going to add two numbers, and it's going to give you back a result of two numbers. So let's say return 1 plus num2. Okay, none. So the same thing is going to occur with three numbers. So 3, so num1 plus num2, num3. So I'm just creating a few methods here that I'm going to later test. So let's call this subtract num1, num2, num3. Let's just do minus, minus, minus. And for these methods, I'm also going to create JUnit tests in a little bit. So I'm just going to remove this, and this is going to be subtract two numbers. Okay, so this is for my testing one. I'm going to create let's just create a class here. and let's call it calculator test. Now for any JUnit test classes that you're making, they need to end with capital T test. So otherwise it's not going to work. So again, you can name the beginning as whatever you would like, but the end has to end with like the test over here. So let's click finish. And so we're going to set up a before. This is going to be public void set up. And we're just going to create a calculator class. So an import calculator project here. And so before, we're also going to import it from the JUnit class. And now we're just going to create test cases. So okay, so we're going to test this by going over here and going to run as and JUnit test, and we can see everything is working fine, all test cases. Great. So now that we have this in, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to downloading Jenkins. This website below as well. This is where you can download Jenkins. So you're going to need certain Java versions, and you can look through the documentation for what Java versions are needed. Download and run Jenkins is by using this option by using the generic Java package. So I'm just going to click on this and we can see it being downloaded. So just let it download. Okay, so now that it's downloaded, what we're going to do is we're going to head to where it should be ideally downloaded. Okay, so it should show up in your downloads. So what I'm going to type in now is Java jar, and I'm just going to copy and drag this in here and click enter. So you can see it loading, and it's going to ask for access, allow access. Okay, so when you run this, you'll see this thing show up here that shows up. And now you can copy and save this wherever you would like. Or what you can do is you can copy this link and just paste it over here. Let's go to secrets. It's stored in your secrets in Jenkins secrets, and it's also put in over here. So we can open it up in a notepad, and here you can see it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a new tab over here, and we're going to type in localhost 8080 and just click enter. So hopefully we should see it running. Now we can see this login page. This is where they're going to ask you for the secret password, and we're going to click on continue. So we're going to click on, there's two options that they give us. You can manually select which plugins you want to install, or you can install suggested plugins. Let's just go for this option here. So this might take a little bit of a while. What they're doing here is that they're just installing all of these plugins for you for your Jenkins. So hopefully by the end of this installation, you should get all green tick marks. And even if you don't have, if you have like some red X's, that's okay, because you can manually install it later, that plugin. Yeah, but just one more thing I want to remind you guys is that whenever you want to restart Jenkins, again, you can do it through your command prompt, and you can just type in the command that you wrote before to start it, to download it, or to get it started. So yeah, you can type in this command again, and you can type in localhost, and you will see it up and running. Okay, so you're gonna have to create your first admin user. So I'm gonna go with Isha. Just write a password for you to use. And your email. I'm gonna go with this one. So you can change your Jenkins URL. So I'm just going to keep it as localhost 8080. So we're going to click save and finish and click on start using Jenkins. All right, so now the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to have to install some plugins because then we're going to have to integrate it into Jira. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to manage plugins and we're just going to check all the installed ones in. So Maven needs to be one of them. So we can do is we can go on to Maven and see if it's in here. Okay, it doesn't look like it's in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Maven. So we're going to go to Maven integration. And we're just going to click on this one. Another one we're going to go into is just type Xray. And we're going to click on install now, download now, install after we start. Okay, so this is pending over here. So what I'm going to do is we need to restart Jenkins, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this and write this again down, like that. Let's write localhost once more and see if it's running again. So right now, what we're going to do is we need to set up we need to integrate Maven and we need to also connect Xray here into Jenkins as well. So how we're going to do that, we're going to go to manage Jenkins, go to configuration. Let's check. Yeah, so here, what you're going to do is you want to write Maven 3 and don't go for this version here. I would suggest you go for 3.5.2. And this is a good version because you need a slightly older version of Maven. The latest one doesn't work as well, so go for 3.5.2. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go to configure system. So Xray hopefully should be installed in. So we should have an Xray option. A little lazy for this. So you should have this show up here in your configuration. So we're going to need to put in some credentials. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Jira. I just like to go straight to stay into one of these URLs. We're going to go to apps and okay. So from here, you want to go to manage your apps. Then one of your options here is going to be API keys. And in API keys, you can create a new API key. I've already made an API key. You can do so with your user. So if I go on again, I make Aisha Ahmed already has an API key. I can't really do that. So just create one through this. So I'm just going to copy this and in here, Jira Cloud. So I'm going to go for cloud. All right, so you're going to want to copy your client secret, and for your credentials, you're going to have to you're going to paste the password here, and your client ID should be your username. So paste that here. You can add an ID if you want, but you don't really need to. So make sure that it is username with password. Okay, so when this connection is a success, what we can do then is head on to save. After saving, we can go on to new item and let's call this Jenkins automated test freestyle. Okay. So because we did create a JUnit test, we're going to have to put it into GitHub. So for this, you are going to need to make a GitHub account. All right, so when you're on your GitHub account, you're going to go to repository and make a new repository. Let's call this automated testing JUnit. So give it a quick description, automated testing with Jenkins, JUnit, and Xray. Great, so let's make this public for you guys to use later on, and I'm going to add a README file and let's create a repository. So we can see this repository is created. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste in the GitHub URL. And what we will find is if I go to Windows, users, I should find it. There we go. So that's where it is located. So now we're just going to transfer all of these files into this repository over here. So I'm gonna go to where I have my Eclipse workspace over here. And from here, I'm gonna copy SRC. So SRC has main Java, it has a calculator Java here, and it also has the test over here. So we're going to copy this SRC and target, and I'll paste it into over here and back to Eclipse workspace. I know you can do this through the terminal, but I guess just copying and pasting it is easier for me. So I'm just gonna copy this whole thing and I'll paste it over here. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, so the next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to go to that directory. So I'm going to copy this name and paste it here. And let's just check the git status. So we have to add these things in. So I'm going to do git add. Actually, we don't need these two things. I'm just going to delete that. All right, so we're going to do git add pom. So you're going to need your pom.xml file. And we're going to do git commit with a message. So add pom.xml and git push. So we can see it's been pushed in. So if you do git status again, you can see you need to add these two things in. So git add src, git commit, add src, git push. You can see that's also pushed in. So if you check git status, there is one thing left. So we can do git add target, git commit. This is with a commit message. So add target and git push. Right. So if we go back to our GitHub page, you can see these files are added in. Great. Now what we're going to do is we are going to need to put it into Jenkins. So you can add a description here. So this is for a video. So you're going to add in project URL. So when they ask for project URL, they're asking for this URL over here of your repository. So paste that in. And for your source code management, we're going to have to select Git. Now for your repository URL, it's not this one, it's the one over here. So HTTPS, we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it over here. You don't have to add in your credentials, but if you want to, you can. It's not necessary though. For the branch specifier, here it says master, but if you go to your GitHub account, you can see that it's main over here. So we're going to have to change that to main. That's where the files are located, in the main branch. So we're going to select GitHub hook trigger. And we are going to select delete workspace before build starts. And we are going to save. And we are going to select build now. Just to see if it runs or not, to see if it's giving any error so far or not. So far you can see, it seems like it's working. It's a success. Let's head back to our configure. And for our build step and add invoke top level Maven targets, select Maven 3. And for this, let's say the goal is for you to clean, compile, and test. And here click save and build now. So we're running our build over here. Okay, we see it's a success. If you go over here and you go straight to console output, you can see that our tests have been run. So 4 of them, because there's 4 tests of ours, and it's a build success. Great. This is what we wanted to see. So we head back to our project and go to workspace and go to target over here. We should see these things pop up, right? So we can see now we have a report that's generated. So let's click on this over here, this test report. You can see it's not that pleasing to the eye, but let's copy the path over here. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring this over here, go to configure. And here, what we're going to add is import Xray. Right. Right. So we can select Xray Cloud over here. And for this format, let's select JUnit XML. For this execution report, let's put this in here. Let's remove all the spaces. And let's just do wildcard.xml. So it basically selects every XML report that's here, which is only just this one, which is what we need. Right, so you can give your project key. So I'm going to head back to my project, this one over here. So the project key is CL. So we're going to write CL. You can specify a test execution key, a test plan key. You can also give specific test environments, revision as well, and you can also fix versions. Another thing that we're going to have to add is publish JUnit report here. Right, so this is what you're gonna have to type in. So your target test report XMLs, and actually just make sure that you remove the space. And again, here you can do the same. And if you want to specify what XML file, you can do that as well. So you can just copy test calculator test XML and paste it. So again, you can specify your project key, your test execution key if you want to put into a specific test execution. Otherwise, it's going to create one for you. You can also fix a version if you would like. So for now, I'm just going to click save and see if it builds properly. So let's see here, console output. Okay, so we can see the test is successful. And here we can see the key. So I'm just going to select this key, go back to my project and paste it in here. So if I click enter, I can see a test execution was made. Nice. So here you can see that all 4 of my test cases have been added in. They're generic test types. What you can do here is you can also link into stories that you may have created by going to link issue and going to tests, and you can select which one it tests. Like this one is add 2 numbers. So it would link to the add 2 numbers story. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Hopefully that was helpful to you guys. That's pretty much the gist of how you automate with JUnit testings. If you have any questions with downloading or like any problems or errors that you're running into, because I know getting errors is quite easy when you're using Jenkins, so let me know. And I'll continue with making more of these automation videos. If you have any suggestions for videos, let me know as well. All right, thanks for watching.